During wintertime, Henry the Green Engine enjoys no other place than his forest. He loves to see the beautiful landscape covered in the snow. Not so long ago, the forest was restored with the help of Trevor and Terrence. Now, the trees and animals are thriving. When Henry gets done with a long day of work, he often comes and visits the forest animals. He couldn't explain why, but there was always something so calming about the forest. It was so peaceful. One morning, all of the engines were gathered in the sheds. "I love wintertime. The snow always makes everything so serene and peaceful," said Henry. "You're lucky. You're not the one plowing through it," remarked Thomas. "Oh, come on now, Thomas. Brighten up. It's Christmas Eve." Just then, Sir Topham Hatt walked up.
"Hello, engines. I've organized a Christmas party for tonight."
All of the engines smiled. They quite enjoyed their yearly Christmas party.
"Your usual Christmas duties will continue today."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The engines replied. Later that day, Henry puffed peacefully through his forest when he was stopped by a red signal. "Bother!" he groaned. He hadn't stopped for long when he noticed a squirrel looking cold and shivering by the line side. "Oh, hello, little guy," Henry said cheerfully. The squirrel looked at Henry, but it continued to shiver. "Where's your home? Surely it wouldn't be cold there," Henry asked. The squirrel ran up to a fallen tree close to the edge of the forest. Henry remembered that tree. It was one of the ones that was too damaged by the storm long ago, and they had to cut it down. Henry became extremely sad. "Oh, I'm sorry, little friend. I promise you, I'll make you a warm home for Christmas." And as the signal changed, Henry puffed determinedly away. Henry searched all over the island for a new home for his friend. But it wasn't easy to do along with his busy holiday schedule. He asked Edward in the yard if he had any ideas. I think it's wonderful that you're helping this little squirrel," Edward smiled. "Perhaps we can build him a home." Henry sighed. "We wouldn't have enough time." And he puffed sadly away. Edward thoughtfully watched him go. Perhaps Sir Topham Hatt can help. Henry returned to the forest on his way back to the shed. He had made his decision. "Hop aboard, my little friend. I know a place that's much warmer than out here." The squirrel hopped in his cab, shivering as it did. Henry cheerfully puffed away. "Oh, what a clever plan," he thought. As Henry got back to the shed for the Christmas party, he excitedly introduced his new friend. "This is, Hammy."
"Henry!"
James shrieked.
"You can't bring rodents around in the shed!"
"Enough," Edward said with finality. "Henry is doing a good turn for this poor little creature during this cold season. I think the vicar would be incredibly proud." Henry smiled warmly. He knew he could count on Edward to stick up for him.
"I couldn't agree more,"
said a booming voice. It was Sir Topham Hatt.
"Edward told me all about your little friend, Henry. And while I don't necessarily approve of you bringing unwanted guests to the engine shed, I contacted Miss Jenny, and she graciously agreed to build, Hammy, a home in the forest."
Everyone cheered and Henry whistled. He was very happy that Hammy had a home. Very happy indeed.